So hello everyone, this is your Krishna from Women Today YouTube channel. So in this channel, we have been interviewing many women entrepreneurs and working women across different cities in India. We are just traveling to different cities and we are doing offline interviews, and we are also doing online interviews across different cities in India and also across different countries in the world. So today's our guest is from Delhi, Gurgaon. We have two founders of Talentstrong company, and I'll just introduce two founders. Their founder's name is Ritika, Naithani, and Ineesha Aggarwal, ma'am. So I welcome you both to this Women Today YouTube channel. So please kindly introduce yourself about the kind of work that you do to the audience who are watching this interview right now, ma'am.
Thank you, Krishna. Myself, Ritika, like Krishna has already given my introduction. I have around 16 years of work experience in HR. I have worked across industries from tech to media to research, expert network to be precise. Last, I was heading HR for a public listed company in Gurgaon, and I have handled everything that comes under the umbrella of a HR function. So that's about me, and I will let Ineesha give her introduction. The only interesting thing that I would want you all to know that me and Ineesha are ex-colleagues and very close friends. So Ineesha, over to you.
Thank you, Ritika. And to add one more thing, Ritika is the one who hired me in my first company. So she has trained me. So coming from an HR intern to becoming a manager to now a co-founder, that has been my journey of 6 years. And my only mission has been to strengthen the talent through emotional intelligence and structured HR way that we all cater to. My expertise are in the same domains, complete HR backgrounds from training, hiring, performance, and everything.
So it's great to see two friends, two colleagues of the same department or making some good ventures about some good startups. That's great to know about all these kind of things, ma'am. Of course, each and every friends who join together, they'll be growing something great in the future. So that's how I can see Talentstrong right now. So tell us, ma'am, how and where did you get this idea, and how you actually made a vision to start this Talentstrong company right now, ma'am?
So, well, to answer Krishna's question, I would just give some background that, like I said, I have 16 years of experience in HR, and I was heading HR for this public listed company. But over a year back, I started having this feeling that something was missing. You know, I was doing well professionally, everything was going great, but then I wasn't feeling fulfilled. So I took this bold step. I left my job now without having any concrete plan or a backup. But just a need to find that purpose, whatever was missing that time. And during this break, I still remember that day while reflecting and having a conversation with my dear Ineesha here, we were something just clicked during that conversation. And, during that conversation, we realized that we wanted to do something meaningful in terms of to bridge the gap between candidates and the companies, to bridge the gap between employee and the management. And with our experience, we have also seen how freshers enter corporate life completely unprepared for the realities. So, so yeah, we realize that most career problems exist because no one explains the gaps. And that's how Talentstrong was born, from that realization.
We just wanted to build clarity, confidence, and understanding on each side of the hiring platforms. So it's easy and transparent and something that you can look forward to. And we wanted to be the new gen HR for all our clients and all our prospective candidates.
And to reach a larger audience.
Of course. To answer to Ineesha Aggarwal, ma'am, yeah, as you told, you always wanted to have some clarity and good communication. That's why each and every kind of work that we do can ultimately lead to success. That clarity, transparency, communication will actually lead us to success in no matter department that we are working in. And also, ma'am, there must be some common mistakes which you find in the interviews, which actually people go wrong. So tell us, what are the things that you find a common simple mistake which you want to actually correct by telling to the audience who are watching this interview right now, ma'am?
Before I tell about the mistake, Talentstrong not only helps the current employees, but we also help the upcoming freshers to get a good placement, not only to get placed for once, but find a good job. So we make them corporate ready. And one of the biggest mistake that I see is that many people focus only on memorizing the answers. We want to say this in interview, we want to say this. But getting ready for an interview is not only knowing what to speak, but also dressing up accordingly. So professional attire, your body language, your confidence should reflect that you are interview ready. And if you're going for an offline interview, always reach before time so that you know the environment, you're settled, you're comfortable. And if you're doing an online interview, double check your infrastructure. Don't wait, I have an interview at 3 p.m., then only I will log in. But check your mic, check your speakers, check your network, everything beforehand so that the impression that you're sending out to the interviewer is sorted, is nice. Interviewer knows that you have taken this interview very seriously. It's not just a casual piece that you're just attending, because your first impression is the last impression. So hence the common mistake is not to be just question ready, but also to dress up accordingly and carry that confidence with you.
Tell us, Ritika ma'am, what is that one skill that you want each and every candidate who attends an interview to have, so that they will be able to get themselves easily, like successfully getting recruited in a professional company, ma'am?
I think if you ask me one skill, I would say that an individual should have structured communication, the way they are talking, saying the right thing in the right order in the limited time. You can't. So when you are in interview, you have to be very concise to the point, so that the interviewer also understands or think that you have a very clear thought process, right? Because I think, like Ineesha said, first impression is the last impression. Similarly, I would say that initial few minutes actually makes a lot of difference. And if you are taking a lot of time in saying, giving answers, running around the bush, not coming to the point, it kind of takes the interest away of the interviewer as well, and won't give a very good impression. So I would say structured communication. And it's not only for candidate. I think in every field in today's world, whether you are a corporate employee, whether you are a podcaster, whether you are a founder, a structured communication, the way you are communicating is very important.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, because we do have only limited time. We have to actually, HRs, they have very limited time to recruit candidates, because within one day they'll be having to interview a lot of members, like more than 100 people, like. So they'll be having just 5 minutes to make sure that to select the candidates. And it's so one thing which candidates should stop immediately. What will be that one thing? Tell us, Ineesha ma'am, what is that thing that we should actually try to stop immediately, ma'am?
There are many things, honestly, but one of the biggest and common mistakes that I see is that candidates focus too much on the salary part. Now we understand that monetary terms are important, and ultimately we all are working to earn money, right? But it is important to know when to talk about it and whom to talk about it. So we have seen a lot of times when candidates are negotiating or trying to negotiate salaries in technical rounds or interviews with senior leadership teams, that leaves a very negative impression. Please leave your negotiating part or discussing salary part only with the HR, because in the other rounds you have to portray, or you have to tell or describe how important the role is for you, how important the job is for you. So that is one common mistake that we see, that students or candidates or even the experienced employees focus too much on salary and hence end up giving negative impression about the role and their intent.
Of course, each and every day of our life, we should earn some revenue. And according to your kind of thing, perspective, it's very simple. Of course, we are not going to discuss about salary, but at the last minute, when the time comes correct, as Ritika ma'am mentioned, everything should come in place at the right time, at the right situation. So that's where we have to actually kind of do things. So what will be that one advice will you actually try to give candidates when they're preparing for the resume, and what will be that one mistake they should actually kind of eliminate to themselves, so that they'll be able to get themselves easily recruited in a company, ma'am?
Well, I think I'm not going to talk about formatting or spell check in a resume. I think that's a basic. Everyone should be doing it. But what I think I have often seen in CVs, in resumes, is that candidates put responsibilities instead of results. So for example, I am responsible for this, I'm responsible for that. So your resume should rather answer that what actually changed because you are working there, the results. So HR doesn't hire you for the responsibilities, they hire you for the impact. So you have to write the impact that you were able to make when you were working in that particular role. So more results, more impact, more data, more numbers, as much as you can write, in place of any vague statement like I was responsible for XYZ thing. Just explain further that, I was able to achieve this percent of sales target, or maybe this percent of hiring if you are a recruiter, or so to be more precise, more result should be mentioned in your resume than mere vague responsibility statements.
Yeah, it's as simple as that. Always the company wants to know what kind of benefits we can get when we recruit you. So we should actually prove the results, what we actually expect. So what is that one particular green flag as a HR you see in your candidates, ma'am?
One green flag that I think we all look in our daily life is communication. So even HRs would love if the candidates would keep the communication channel with them very open, clear, and transparent. If you even don't want to accept the offer, if you have got offer from another company, or if you don't like something in the company, it's always advisable that you reach out to HR and communicate. We also don't like when people or candidates ghost us. So the biggest green flag for any HR is transparent communication.
Yeah, that's actually a great thing. What was that one single red flag that each and every HR sees in a candidate, ma'am?
Okay, well, no HR hopes to see any red flag in any candidate. They really hope that everybody is a green flag. But yeah, there are few, I think, don'ts that candidates should keep in mind. That they should not talk too negative about their past managers or companies, or blaming them for anything. Of course, we do understand there are times when there are genuine issues that an individual might have with their past employer, but maybe there's a certain way to communicate it, and maybe in a sentence and or so, and then let it rest. But there are some candidates who keep on ranting a lot about the same thing again and again, which kind of, signals about that individual more than their employer. So I feel that talking too much negative about their past employer or manager during interview should be avoided. Yeah.
What most people hate about HR? So what would be that one single thing, ma'am?
Well, yeah, that's a Ineesha, if you don't mind, I want to start the answer for this question. It's a common notion. I won't say everyone hates HR, but then yeah, there is a segment of people who hates HR. There's a common notion, and I think where it is coming from is because in most cases, HR is often seen as the face of the decisions. Uh, Also, that they don't make most of the times.
Right.
So basically, HRs communicate no, but they really get the credit for the yes. So I'll explain it with an example. For example, most people use terms like HR has retracted the offer, HR has done the budget cuts, there are no promotions this year, HR is not giving good hikes, HR is doing the layoffs. So HR came in the center stage of all this because HR was the one communicating it to the right person here. But all these important decisions are not made by only HR. It's a business. These are business decisions. Important decisions happen collectively with all the leadership, mutual consensus of everyone, right? So, but I'll tell you, Krishna, what actually happens in the background. So HR is the one who's actually, running after the leadership team to get the leadership team or the various business heads to get the approvals, is actually negotiating with finance to get the budgets, is actually making cases for various individuals so that they can be promoted, is preparing their documentation. So actually this is the background story, but nobody sees this. If an individual gets an offer, if an individual gets an offer, then it's the company has given a good offer. If there are no budget cuts, if the hikes are good, then it's a team effort, the whole organization, the management has done it. If an individual has got a promotion, then they're very thankful to their manager for giving them promotion, right? Then no one gives credit to HR. But if anything goes the other way around, then people say that HR has done this. So I just want to summarize this by saying that HR doesn't create all the rules or take all the decisions. We translate them. HR translate them and deliver them. And sometimes not so good decisions, when you are delivering them, you become the face of it, and that's why people assume that it's HR that who's doing all this. So I think that's the reason why some people don't understand the background around it, and they blame HR, or as some people say, hate HR. So yeah.
Tell us, Ritika ma'am, if there is any kind of one perception that you wanted to change regarding HR, what people see, like people will be seeing each and everything in their life in different perspectives. So tell us, what is that one perspective that you wanted to change so that people will be changing their mindsets when they are focusing on HR, when they are seeing HR, whenever they think about HR? What is that perception that you wanted to change in the people's minds, ma'am?
Well, I think it's something similar to the last question that you asked. If I could change one perception about HR, it would be that, as some people think that HR is anti-employee. So I want to change that perception. HR is not anti-employee. HR is an enabler. So I'll give an analogy to this, that HR is like traffic police. You only notice them when they stop you, not when they prevent the accidents all day long, right? So I think that's how HR function is, that they are there, and that's why a lot of things happen smoothly, fairly. But if they are making any policy which is helping things run smoothly, and if the employees are not liking it, that's when they say that HR is anti-employee, or what policies HR make, and all of that. So I think this is a perception that I would like to change. Ineesha, do you want to add anything to this?
I think the biggest perception that has been, the common thing between millennials or Gen Z also, is that HRs only make Rangoli. I think that is the perception I really want to change.
That's a common
Rangoli
meme,
happens, Rangoli happens once a year, and that too HR doesn't make. HR makes you make it. So that is the perception I want to change, because we are not here to make your life hell. We are not here to just joke around. We are here to make your corporate life better, because your life, if it is better, if your work is better, then only our work can be better. So that is one thing that I would love if people can realize and can think about again.
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's a great perspective which we should have. So I've discussed about different green flags, red flags that we should have, we should not have, different kind of perspectives in which people think about HRs. What are the things we should be capable of to make ourselves easily recruited in a company? That was a great kind of conversation with you, Ritika ma'am and Ineesha ma'am. So we have come to the last part of this interview. It's very simple. I'm just going to ask one simple question to both of you. If there is any one simple message that you wanted to tell people, that you wanted to convey to the people, it may be any simple message. It may be to the kids, to the middle-aged person or the old-aged person. It may be to any person in any part of the world. What would be the one common message that you would like to convey? So, Ritika ma'am, please go with your answers first, ma'am.
I would. Okay, so I'll just give this message of my own life experience, especially recently, that, follow your heart. We all have that voice, a small voice somewhere in our heart telling us something, but at times, because we are too busy in our work or, in our life, that we don't listen to that voice. But if it's again and again coming and saying something to you, listen to that voice. And if you can, follow that, follow your heart. If there's anything that you feel is not giving you happiness or it's not fulfilling, then no matter how difficult it would be, take a stand and follow your heart, move away with it, and you will get the direction to your life, what you want to do. Like I said, I started this interview with giving my example that how that last 1 to 2 years I have been hearing that voice, but because 16 years of experience in a good position, in a high paying salary, why would you leave? Why would you go seeking answers to something else? But I think that's the best decision that I took. It was difficult, I was not sure, but I trusted my gut, I trusted my heart, and I followed it. And trust me, last one close to 1 year has been one hell of a journey. And I've never been so happy in my life. So yeah, I hope that makes sense.
Of course,
this
of
is
course.
this is my message.
Of course, that's very simple, and it's a very powerful message, because once we enter into our old age, like after 60s, or if you are lucky, if you go to 70s or 80s, something like that, at that point of time, we'll be thinking like, why we didn't actually listen to our heart? Why didn't we
Yeah,
actually follow our mind, which actually told us something? Why we actually listen to others
true,
instead of following what we are actually capable of? Of course, there must be
true.
some kind of things which will ultimately shift your life. That one moment you should take the risk, you should, that's what I was also telling. So coming on to Ineesha ma'am, so tell us ma'am, based on your personal experiences, if there is any kind of one message that you would like to convey to the audience, what would be that one message that you want to tell to the audience who are watching this interview right now ma'am?
I think it will be in addition to what Ritika said, because following your heart is very, very important, and it's better not to have what ifs rather than in your life. And my personal message would be that whatever you are doing, you don't need validation from people outside. There will be many people who will try to pull you down. There will be many people who will try to humor you. But your self belief in you, in yourself, your capabilities, your dream is bigger than anything in this world. So stop seeking validation, stop seeking compliments from even people who are close to you. Because the biggest cheerleader for your life is you yourself. So always trust yourself, trust your instincts, and keep the people close. Keep the people who appreciate you closer than anybody who is telling you not to do the things that you love to do. So that will be my message.
That's once again,
Awesome. Well
that's once again a
answering.
very
I loved
powerful
it.
message, ma'am. Of course, we should not to worry about anything. So that was a great message from you, Ritika ma'am and Nisha ma'am. So we have also had a very wonderful concept, I mean, kind of conversation. So it was going very good. And the people also who are watching this interview right now, please do subscribe to Women Today YouTube channel, and please go click on the bell icon so that you can receive notifications whenever I do post new videos regarding women entrepreneurs and working women across different cities in India and also across different countries in the world. So today's your host is Krishna, hosting this Women Today YouTube channel, and today's our guest is from Delhi, Gurgaon. So we have two founders of Talentstrong. One is Ritika Naithani ma'am, and second one is Ineesha Aggarwal ma'am. So thank you Ritika ma'am and Ineesha ma'am for accepting me to host this interview right now. So good evening ma'am. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Krishna. It was a wonderful time having this conversation with you, and we really loved your inputs that you had to present.
Thank you Ineesha ma'am. Ritika ma'am, do you want to tell anything to the audience ma'am?
Thank you for listening to us, and also thank you for sharing your wisdom. The interesting anecdotes and the stories that you told, it kind of kept the conversation going and gave us also a different perspective. So thank you so much, Krishna. You're doing a great job, and all the very best to you.
Thank you, both of them, ma'am. So looking forward for your interviews also in the future. So congratulations on my behalf for your talent strong. So wishing you all the best, ma'am. Good evening. Have a nice day, ma'am.
You
Thank
too.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.